Hey everyone! It's so good to see you again. We're back at our favourite little cafe and honestly, today feels like a really good day to talk about something important.
Yeah. So I actually just came back from the doctor this morning, like literally an hour ago. And you know what? The whole conversation went really well. I felt, I don't know, confident? It was nice.
I remember when going to the doctor and English used to make me so nervous. My hands would get cold, my voice would get quiet. It was not fun at all.
Right? Oh my goodness, I remember one time I was sitting in the waiting room, just staring at the wall. And I was trying so hard to remember how to describe a headache. Like, is it sharp? Is it dull? I had no idea what to say.
Yes, exactly that feeling. But here's the thing. Today, we want to talk about doctor's office conversations because it's one of those situations where you really need the right words. You can't just skip it.
Exactly. And it's not just about being sick, it's about feeling safe enough to explain what's wrong. When you can say what you need to say, everything feels easier.
Absolutely. When you can talk to a doctor clearly, you feel more in control, like you're part of the conversation, not just answering questions and hoping they understand.
Yes. Okay, small example. Knowing how to say, I have been feeling tired for 3 days, instead of just, I am tired. That makes a huge difference. The doctor gets better information. You get better help.
Totally. So today, we'll walk through the whole experience together, from the moment you check in at the front desk to the moment you leave the office, step by step.
And by the end, you'll recognize so many useful phrases that next time you go, it will feel much, much easier. I promise.
We'll keep everything simple, clear, and really practical. Let's start.
So, Zara, have you been to the doctor recently? Like in the last few weeks or anything?
Yeah, actually. Just last month for a regular checkup. Nothing serious, just the usual. And honestly, the receptionist was really kind. She asked how my day was going, and it made me feel, I don't know, welcomed.
Oh, I love that. Those small moments actually help a lot when you're already a little nervous. Like someone being friendly just changes the whole mood.
Totally. And I also noticed the waiting room had new chairs, softer ones. I know that sounds silly, but I actually sat down and thought, oh, these are nice.
No, I get it. I always notice little details like that when I'm waiting, like the color of the walls or if there's a plant in the corner. My brain just starts looking around.
Same. I'll look at the posters on the wall, the ones about washing your hands or eating vegetables. Or I'll count how many people are sitting there, just anything to stay calm.
Yes, sometimes I bring a book with me, but I never actually read it. I just hold it and flip through the pages. It's like a comfort object or something.
Oh my goodness, that's so relatable. I do the exact same thing.
Okay, so real question. Do you ever feel unsure about what to say when the nurse calls your name? Like you stand up and then what do you say?
Yes, especially at the beginning. I remember once I wasn't sure if I should say hi or hello or just follow quietly behind them. So I just smiled and didn't say anything. Super awkward.
Oh, I used to do the same. Just smile and walk. But now I know a simple hi, how are you works perfectly. It's polite, it's easy, and it sounds natural.
Exactly. And it's one of those tiny things that makes the whole visit feel more human. Like you're not just a patient, you're a person having a conversation.
Yes, sometimes just one sentence helps, even just saying hi.
That's exactly it. So today, we'll go through the whole visit step by step so you can see how natural it really is. Nothing scary, just real conversation.
Perfect. Let's start right from walking in the door.
Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. When you first arrive at the doctor's office, you usually check in at the front desk. It's the first conversation you have, and it's really straightforward.
Yeah, the receptionist might say something like, "Hello, do you have an appointment?" And you just answer simply, like, "Yes, I have an appointment at 2 o'clock." Or you can say, "Yes, my appointment is with Dr. Lee."
Exactly. Sometimes they'll ask for your name and date of birth to confirm everything. So you can say, "My name is Zara Kareem, and my date of birth is March 5th, 1992. Super clear, super simple.
Right. And they might also ask, "Is this your first visit?" You can answer, "Yes, this is my first time here," or "No, I have been here before." It's just a short, simple conversation.
It really is, but it helps to know what's coming, you know? Like when you know the questions, you feel more ready. After check-in, you usually sit in the waiting room until they call your name.
Okay, so here's what happens next. When the nurse or assistant calls you, they might just say your name, like Zara Kareem. You can stand up and say, "Yes, that's me," or just, "Hi." Really simple.
I used to just nod and follow them down the hallway. No words, just walking quietly behind them like a shadow.
That's totally fine too. But adding a word or two makes it feel more comfortable, like you're joining the conversation instead of just being led somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. So the nurse will usually take you to a small room to check your weight, height, and blood pressure. They might say, "Please step on the scale," or "I need to take your blood pressure."
And you don't need to say much there. Maybe just, "Okay," or "Sure." They're very gentle and clear with their instructions. They do this every single day, so they know how to help you feel comfortable.
Sometimes they'll ask, "Are you feeling okay today?" And you can say, "Yes, I'm okay." Or if it's true, "I am a little nervous." Being honest is totally fine.
Yeah, nurses hear that all the time. They're really kind about it.
Okay, so after a few minutes, the doctor will come in. This is the main part. The doctor usually starts by saying something like, "Hello, how are you today?" Or "What brings you in today?"
Right. And this is your moment to share what's wrong. You can say something like, "I have had a sore throat for 4 days," or "I have been feeling really tired lately." Just clear and honest.
Exactly. And it's helpful to mention how long you've been feeling this way. Like the timeline really helps the doctor understand what's happening in your body.
Yes, details matter. The pain started on Monday, or "It hurts when I swallow." Those little pieces of information make a big difference.
The doctor might ask follow-up questions too, like, "Do you have a fever?" or "Have you been coughing?" You can answer with, "Yes, I had a fever yesterday," or "No, I do not have a cough."
Simple, clear answers help the doctor understand quickly. You're giving them clues, basically, and they're really good at putting the clues together.
Now, sometimes the doctor will ask you to describe the pain, and honestly, this can feel tricky at first.
Yeah, but you can say things like, "It is a sharp pain," or "It is a dull ache," or "It comes and goes." Those words cover a lot of different feelings.
Right. You can also say, "It feels tight," or "It feels burning." And you can say where it hurts, like, "It hurts in my chest," or "The pain is in my lower back."
And if you're not sure how to describe it, you can say, "It is hard to explain, but it feels uncomfortable here," and just point to the spot. Doctors are very patient. They want to help you find the right words.
I remember once I had this strange pain in my shoulder. It felt like someone was pinching me from the inside, but I didn't know how to say pinch in that moment, so I just froze.
No! What did you do?
I ended up saying, "It feels tight and a little sharp sometimes." And you know what? The doctor understood perfectly. She nodded and started asking more questions.
That's such a great example. You just use simple words and it worked. You don't need perfect medical vocabulary. You just need to be clear enough.
Exactly. The doctor will guide the conversation. They're trained for this.
Okay, so the doctor might also ask about your medical history. They might say, are you taking any medications or do you have any allergies?
Right. You can answer, yes, I take medicine for my blood pressure, or no, I do not take any medications right now. Super straightforward.
And if you have allergies, you can say, I'm allergic to penicillin or I'm allergic to peanuts. It's really important to mention allergies because it keeps you safe.
Absolutely. And if you don't know something, you can say, I'm not sure. Honesty is always better than guessing.
So true. Okay, next step. The doctor will usually do a physical exam.
Yeah, they might say, I'm going to listen to your lungs, or open your mouth and say, ah. That part always feels a little funny to me.
Same. But you just follow their instructions, like take a deep breath or turn your head to the left. It's simple stuff.
They might press on your stomach or check your ears, and if something hurts when they touch it, you can say, that hurts a little, or that area is sensitive. It's important to speak up if something feels wrong.
Yes. Don't stay quiet if it hurts. They need to know.
So, after the exam, the doctor will explain what they think is happening. They might say, it looks like you have a throat infection, or your symptoms sound like a cold.
And they'll usually suggest treatment, like, I'm going to prescribe some antibiotics, or I recommend rest and drinking lots of water. They make it clear what you should do next.
And you can ask questions if you're not sure about something. Actually, you should ask questions.
Exactly. Like, how long should I take this medicine? Or when will I start feeling better? Or even, can I go to work tomorrow? Or should I avoid any foods?
Doctors expect questions. It shows you care about getting better, and they would rather answer your questions than have you go home confused.
So true. Now, sometimes the doctor will write a prescription.
Right. They'll explain how to take the medicine, like take 1 pill twice a day with food, or use this cream every morning and night. Listen carefully, and maybe even write it down.
Oh, good tip. You can also repeat it back to make sure you understood. Like, so I take 1 pill in the morning and 1 at night? That's a really smart habit.
It really is. Clarity helps you heal faster. You want to do it right.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Have you ever been to a doctor's office and felt unsure about what to say? Like you knew something was wrong, but the words just didn't come?
Or maybe you waited too long to go because you were nervous about the language. I think a lot of people feel that way.
It's completely normal. But now you can see how simple and kind these conversations really are. You don't need fancy words, you just need to be honest and clear.
Okay, so now we want to go over some really useful words and phrases that came up in our conversation. These are the kind of words you'll hear every time you visit the doctor.
Exactly. And once you know them, you'll feel even more prepared. Like you'll walk in and think, oh, I know this word. I know what they're asking.
All right, let's start with appointment. An appointment is a scheduled time to see the doctor. You call ahead, you pick a time, and that's your appointment.
Right. For example, I have an appointment at 3 o'clock. Super simple, super common.
Next word, receptionist. A receptionist is the person at the front desk who checks you in. They're usually the first person you talk to when you arrive.
Yeah, you might say, the receptionist asked for my name and birth date. They're really helpful and friendly usually.
Okay, waiting room. The waiting room is the area where you sit before the doctor sees you. There are chairs, maybe some magazines, sometimes a little TV on the wall.
Exactly. I sat in the waiting room for 10 minutes. It's just that space where everyone waits together.
Next, check-in. Check-in means to tell the receptionist you have arrived, like you're saying, "Hi, I'm here."
Right. I checked in at the front desk. That's how you start the whole visit.
Now, blood pressure. Blood pressure measures how hard your heart is pumping blood through your body. The nurse usually checks this with a little cuff on your arm.
Yeah, the nurse took my blood pressure before the exam. It squeezes your arm for a few seconds, and then it's done.
It feels a little tight, but it doesn't hurt.
Okay, my turn. Let's talk about sore throat. A sore throat means your throat hurts, often when you are sick, like it's scratchy or painful.
Good one. You could say, I have a sore throat and it hurts when I swallow. That's a really clear way to describe it.
Next word, fever. A fever is when your body temperature is higher than normal. You feel hot, maybe your skin is warm, and you might sweat a lot.
Right. I had a fever last night, so I stayed in bed. It's your body's way of fighting an infection.
Okay, prescription. A prescription is a written order from the doctor for medicine. The doctor writes it down, and you take it to the pharmacy to get your medicine.
Exactly. I got a prescription for antibiotics for my infection. You can't just buy antibiotics. You need that paper from the doctor.
Right, exactly.
Okay, next, symptoms. Symptoms are the signs that show you are sick, like pain, cough, tiredness, or a headache. They're the things you feel or notice.
Yeah, my symptoms started 3 days ago. That tells the doctor when everything began.
Now, allergic. Allergic means your body reacts badly to something, like food, medicine, or pollen. Maybe you get a rash, or your throat swells, or you feel sick.
Yeah, that's really important to know. I am allergic to shellfish, so I avoid shrimp. You have to tell the doctor about allergies because some medicines have ingredients that could hurt you.
Absolutely. Next, medication. Medication is just another word for medicine. Same thing, different word.
Right. I take medication for my headaches. You'll hear both words, medicine and medication, so just know they mean the same thing.
Perfect. Okay, Blake, your turn again.
All right, let's do examine. Examine means the doctor checks your body to see what is wrong. They might look in your ears, listen to your lungs, or press on your stomach.
Yeah, the doctor examined my ears and throat. It's just part of the process. They're looking for clues.
Next, prescribe. Prescribe means the doctor officially gives you medicine, like they decide you need it and they write it down for you.
Right. The doctor prescribed antibiotics for my infection. It's a verb. The doctor prescribes and you get a prescription.
Haha, exactly. Same root word.
Last one, follow-up. A follow-up is another appointment to check on your progress. Like you go home, you take your medicine, and then you come back in a week or two to make sure you're getting better.
Yeah. The doctor scheduled a follow-up visit in 2 weeks. It's just to make sure everything is healing well.
These words will make every doctor visit smoother and less stressful. You'll recognize them, you'll understand what people are asking, and you'll feel more confident.
Totally. Language is power, honestly. Okay, so now we want to think about real situations where you might use this language, like actual moments in your life where these words will matter.
Exactly. And it's not just about being sick, it's about feeling ready when the moment comes. That readiness changes everything.
All right, imagine this. What if you wake up one morning and your stomach really hurts, like sharp pain, and you know something isn't right?
Yeah. You might need to call the doctor's office and say, "Hello, I would like to make an appointment. I have been having stomach pain." Clear, direct, honest.
Right, and you could add, "The pain started yesterday and it is getting worse." That gives them important information so they can help you quickly.
Exactly. That simple phone call could help you get the care you need today. You're not waiting. You're not suffering quietly. You're just taking action.
Okay, here's another one. What if you're at the pharmacy picking up medicine and the pharmacist asks, "Do you have any questions about this medication?"
Oh, I used to just shake my head and say, no, thank you, even when I had questions. But now you could ask, how many times a day should I take it? Or should I take it with food?
Yes, those little questions show you're taking care of yourself. You're not just accepting the medicine, you're understanding how to use it properly.
Totally. And it's completely normal to ask. It means you want to do it right. The pharmacist actually appreciates that.
So true.
Okay, picture this. You're sitting in the doctor's office and the doctor says, "Tell me what is bothering you." You take a breath and you say, "I have been feeling dizzy when I stand up. It started about a week ago."
Yes, you just explained yourself clearly and calmly. No panic, no confusion, just information.
That's the moment where language becomes power. You're not just speaking English, you're protecting your health. You're making sure someone understands what's happening in your body.
I love that. Okay, what if a friend asks you, how was your doctor's appointment?
You could answer, "It went really well. The doctor said I have a sinus infection and gave me some medicine." Simple, confident, done.
That response shows confidence and clarity. You're not nervous about it anymore. You're just sharing what happened like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Exactly. You're now someone who can handle these moments without hesitation, and that feels really good.
Okay, here's a bigger one. Just you're traveling in another country and you suddenly feel sick. Maybe it's the food, maybe it's the weather, you don't know, but you need help.
Yeah. You walk into a clinic and you say, "Excuse me, I need to see a doctor. I have a high fever and body aches." Just those 2 sentences could get you help anywhere in the world.
Right. This language isn't just for one visit, it's for life. You can use it in your hometown or across the ocean. It travels with you.
It really does, and that's powerful.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Can you imagine yourself sitting across from a doctor and explaining what hurts? Like, really picture it. You're calm, you're speaking, they're listening.
Can you picture yourself asking a question and understanding the answer? Not pretending to understand, actually understanding.
That image is not far away. Honestly, it's closer than you think.
It's already starting to happen. Right now, as you listen to us, you're building that ability. You're getting ready.
Yes, every phrase we've shared today is something you can actually use. These aren't textbook sentences. They're real. They work.
And this isn't about memorizing lists of words. It's about recognizing that these words already make sense. You already understand them. You just needed to hear them in context.
Exactly. The next time you need to go to the doctor, you'll walk in with a quiet kind of readiness you didn't have before. You won't be scared. You'll just be ready.
Ready to speak. Ready to listen. Ready to take care of yourself. Okay, let's take a breath. We've covered so much today.
We really have. We started by talking about checking in at the front desk, giving your name, confirming your appointment, and then waiting to be called. It's that first little moment that sets everything up.
Right, and then the nurse takes you back, checks your weight and blood pressure, and maybe asks how you're feeling. It's gentle, it's quick. Nothing scary.
Exactly. Next comes the main conversation with the doctor, explaining your symptoms, answering questions about your health, and describing where it hurts. That's the heart of the visit.
Yeah. The doctor will examine you, explain what's happening, and might prescribe medicine or suggest rest. They guide you through the whole thing.
And you can always ask questions if something isn't clear, like, how should I take this medicine? Or when will I start feeling better? Questions are totally normal and actually really helpful.
We also went over important vocabulary, words like appointment, prescription, symptoms, allergic, and follow-up. These are the words you'll hear every single time.
Right. These words show up again and again in real doctor visits. Once you know them, everything feels more familiar.
Exactly. And the viewer now has the tools to walk into any clinic or office and communicate clearly. You can explain what's wrong. You can understand what the doctor says. You can ask questions.
That's not a small thing.
It's actually huge. Being able to talk about your body and your health in another language means you're not stuck. You're free to take care of yourself.
Yes, you're not dependent on someone else to translate. You're not avoiding appointments because you're scared. You're just living.
I remember when I used to avoid going to the doctor because I didn't know what to say. I would wait until I was really, really sick, and even then, I'd feel this tightness in my chest the whole way there.
Oh, I feel that so deeply. I used to rehearse sentences in my head over and over again, and then I'd forget them the second the doctor walked in.
Yes, exactly that. But now, it feels normal. I don't rehearse anymore. I just go.
That shift happens slowly, one visit at a time. And honestly, it wasn't about becoming perfect, it was just about becoming comfortable.
The same thing will happen for you. Maybe it already started today.
Yeah. The next time you sit in that waiting room, you'll recognize this feeling. Ready, calm, and clear.
You'll know what to say, and that changes everything.